These were £129, and I think the best way to maintain new information is to repeat it. We do have this one, a few little marks and stuff, but I paid £5 for that. I can see you. I can see you in C. Pop you out there in case anything happens, it falls on my head. It'll be good content, won't it? I've spoken to people in distribution centres, and one of their biggest gripes and one of the biggest problems with your parcels going missing or getting damaged is the only way to start any respectable reselling video is to stir a cup of tea or coffee. Don't forget to tap on the side. I thought today we'd do a kind of day in the life type of thing. I don't mean like a full day, because I don't know if anybody's got time for that, have they? But I'm going to take you on the in-betweeny bits as well of my average kind of sales packing day. I got my little cup from Lucy, thank you so much. I absolutely love it. Look at that, delectable, beautiful, gorgeous. It's currently 5 to 9. We've got to get cracking. I came in here to get my fucking laptop. Now I've got my phone in my hand as well because I'm filming. I wasn't expecting to do that. Go and drop the coffee off, then we'll come back for the laptop and the MacBook. Even though they're both the same thing. The laptop and the iPad. Okay. Well, we'll put down the fresh one and we'll take the old one. That's what we'll do. I've got about 10 going out on eBay today and 2 going out on Vinted. My good friend Colin, one half of the lovely Colin and Andrea, came over yesterday and dropped off about 10 large boxes. So that's going to take some pressure away from me and enable me to list my big items that I've got. Here, secured. 2 apples secured. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. 2 apples a day keep the savings away. Because Apple Tech is a bit too expensive. I skipped getting the iPhone 17 this year. Shit, I don't need it. I don't need it. Right, let me get the other camera set up and we'll get cracking. Can't record on my phone all day. We're all switched over. Right, here's those boxes Colin sent me. Where are they? Here. So these are nice big sizes, meaning I can start listing some of this stuff now. Holding off because I haven't got a box. Managed to find a few other little bits the other day as well. Got some parcels there that need to go out from the weekend that I've packed. They don't have to go out until Monday, which is today, but I packed them anyway. I'm going to be blurring this part because there's so many addresses on there. Normally I've got all this bit done for you already, but a lot of you like to see the in-betweeny bits as well, apparently. Do you remember the tweenies? What a show that was. Hey, are you ready to play? It's time to come and play with my penis! Finished Mobland last night, done it in 2 days. Fantastic, fantastic. Well, that one's easy to find. It's a board game. Where are these 2 coming from Lee? Done Lee a good deal last night, reduced loads of stuff and even accepted an offer on top. Box A and box C. Come on, let's go. So box A is hiding in there, and box C, I can see you. I can see you in C. He's right. Oh no, they're going to fall out. He's right there. That's nice and easy. And then we've got 2 board games going out. Well, 1 board game going out, sorry. Labyrinth. Cheap as chips. I didn't realise they weren't worth as much money when I bought them. Right, so from Lee, Mr. Fairbridge, thank you very much, mate. For £13, we've got a Darth Maul rucksack going out here. I'm going to put a picture up on the screen. It's missing a strap and his little vinyl horns are starting to corrode away. Very common thing. That plus 1 to 7, I think, or 1 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 to 8 Pokemon books. Sold the whole lot. £13. Get at me for the bargains. I am going to start clearing my Vinted down again, and I'll tell you for why, because I keep falling into that trap. I feel like I've got it nailed of what to put on there and what not to, and then I forget. So I put some stuff on there which wasn't selling, moved it over to eBay, which is a faff anyway, especially if you've deleted your pictures, and it's sold within the same day. So I think I might start clearing my Vinted down again. I'm tempted just to go all in on eBay, like all in, and let my Vinted account just slowly release all the funds, because waiting 18 days is big on cash flow. It's a pain in the ass. Not that I need to get the money out, it doesn't stop me, but it's like, I'd like to have it, it's mine. Why am I waiting 18 days? And for £3.50 we have sold the Labyrinth board game. Picked it up for about 50p. No, it's £2. I was paying £2 a game. I picked up a few of them and I've sold some now for profit, but yeah, nobody wants to be doing that today. £3.50. But with that, it's easy because Vinted handled the shipping, you know, there's no around, and I'm getting my £3.50. Anyway, that's all for Vinted. Lovely bloody jubbly. We're going to move into eBay. There are 10 to pick, and we're going to pick them together for the first time in about 5 years. How about that? And we'll do the pricing together as we go. Box A, for a grand total of £16 and 14 pence all in, we have sold, which I thought would be worth more to be fair, but it wasn't selling. PS1 original game carry case. You put your PlayStation in there, you've got enough room for a console, couple of controllers, all the leads and a game. A few little marks and stuff, but I paid a fiver for that at the car boot sale. £5 into £16, then I've got to take off fees and postage. It's not the best flip, but I know now not to pay much for these. I mean, I'd still pay a fiver for it. I'm still going to make over a double up, so I probably would pick it up again, to be fair. Right, this is one of the items that I put onto Vinted for about a month. It didn't sell, put it onto eBay, and it sold straight away. Admittedly, it has sold to one of you guys, but I think it would have sold anyway. This is a vintage Adidas jacket. Size D5, so it's older. It's like very early 90s, I'd say. I don't think it's 80s. If it is, it's very late 80s. And I paid £2 for that one from the lady where I bought that Reading top with the players patch on it, which I think might be player issue. Haven't got through to that yet. But regardless, paid £2, sold it for £32.19. We've got a note that says, "Hi Ricky, thanks for the offer. Saw this when you bought it and been waiting for you to list it. Love the vids and keep up with the good content. Maybe not the 30-minute what sold videos. Peace and love, Stuart." Well, Stuart, I'll try and keep this below 30 minutes, but it's going to be a bit different, isn't it? I think you might be referring to the time where I did a daily sales video but compiled them into one video. I mean, that was a bit too much, wasn't it? Thank you, Stuart. Let's have a swig of this. We've got a few from box H now. Where's H on? Oh, it's at the end of it. So what we got there? 1, 2, what? 3 of those. So box H. Well, that's going to have to move. This is going to be a problem. That is going to fall. It's literally hanging on its last little bit there. Any move and it's probably in, and well, it is going to fall. I'm going to try not to, but I don't think I've got much say in the matter at the moment. Yeah, I'll have to pull the box out. So as mentioned, I've got a few to go through just here. So we have sold the last Laura Ashley border. It does have some edgeware just there. That has sold for £12.98. Then I paid £2 for this, thinking it was worth more than it was, and sold it for £6 all in, free postage, Sleep Pal. Unless you're paying 50p for those, don't bother. They lasted a bit too long as well. And then we have sold the IKEA leaf lamp. Nice little one, these. They've started doing them with LEDs now. I don't know if you can see that in there. Oh, the gimbal just shook. That was 50p from the car boot sale. I'd normally pay up to £3 for those. That sold for £15.93. Let me just pop this box back without smashing that little thing there down. I can't guarantee this is not going to go wrong. Nice, and there's one easy solution to fixing that problem, and that is just list that stuff that's up there. So I think I'll do that this week and get it up. Some really nice bits there. Right, what else is going out today? Oh wow, okay, that was cheap. Next up are a boxed Kurt Geiger trainers. These were £4 from the car boot sale. I didn't even bother to clean them, just listed them as they were because they were so cheap. They didn't really sell for much, to be honest. £18.50 on those. I'd still pick them up again. The next are in here. I've got a really big sale to show you as well coming up. These are Skechers trainers. They do not have laces. I bought 2 pairs from the same place for £5.75 a pair without laces. Sold the first pair for £28.99 or something like that, and sold this pair for £19.98. Fantastic little trainer, very cool looking. They're called Skechers Gomeb something. Gomeb, do you know what I mean? Next up we have sold this one and this one. That is cheap. First up to the book is a Armani Exchange jumper. Really nice one, massive embroidered spell out on the top. Size small, that's why I wasn't too bothered about hanging on to it and whatever else. It's stuck around for so long, but the size is the size, and small sizes do seem to mess things up. Sold for £10.99. I think I got it from a boot sale, I think for like cheap, 50p or £1. And £5.74 all in. We have sold a Paul Smith bunny rabbit. Paul Smith, where are you? Paul Smith Perfumes bunny rabbit. £5, I mean, so I'm going to make like 2p on that after fees and postage. Another sale going out to Mr. Fairbridge, who picked up the little bundle on Vinted, the Pokemon books and the Darth Maul bag. Let me just get it down. Let's pop you up there in case anything happens, it falls on my head. It'll be good content, won't it? Just go, I can go there now. I think what I'm going to do this weekend is go onto my listings, select all of the big bulky items that I've got up there, that's taking up all that space, and just run an auction and auction it all off just to get it out the door. That's what I'm going to do, I think. But Lee has picked up, oh, can't even show you. I'll put a screenshot up. This is a leg exerciser, fantastic little piece of kit. Nice little bargain price as well, actually. Put it on my laptop. He got a nice bargain price on that as well for £41.99 all in. It's one of those little things you plug in and motorise and it moves your feet. So if you've got like less mobility or you don't get out much and things like that, it really helps you to move and keep your knees stimulated, I suppose. Stimulate those knees, baby. And the star of the show when it comes to sales today, it's a very strange one. So I bought these from the car boot sale. I'll just show you them so you know what I'm talking about. These boots. These are Red Wings. Now there's a very strange story behind these regarding the sale. I picked them up, I knew they would do well. I've done a lot of research on them and I was finding so many different listings, like 50 quid to £100, but all the solds were like 115, 150. So I thought, no, I'm going to go with that one. So I put them up for £129.99. Now during that time I actually found Early Bird Buyer has got a listing up of the same boots in the same condition for £59.99 and they still hadn't sold. I was like, I'm not listing mine for that. So I listed mine, sold them the same day for the full £129.99, and his boots for £59.99 are still sitting there. Pretty sure they're the same size as well. But I've taken a good look at his listing, and Johnny, if you do watch this, or somebody's going to send it to you, I'm sure. I think I know what the issue is. He's put in the title Red Wings shoes, Red Wings, whereas I've put in the title Red Wing, no S, shoes, because they are Red Wing shoes, and the sort of like nicknamey off-brand which they go with as well is Red Wings. So I think because I've put that in the title, and I've also offered international shipping, I'm sure Johnny has as well, mine sold in the same day for double what Johnny's asking, and his are still sitting there. So I think it is very important to take note of your titles and your pictures and any specifics that you've got, because you might have a great product out there that somebody really does want, but they just can't find it because of a simple thing like a keyword or the way you've structured your title. There is a method out there for titling, like I think it's something like brand, gender, size, then colour, or something like that. There's a good way to structure. eBay mentioned it ages ago, or somebody did. I don't really follow it. I try to, but I don't always remember it. But yeah, I mean, Johnny's is still there, even to this day. If it's still there, I'll put a screenshot up just there. It's still there to this day. And they're the same boots, but mine got the sale for double the price he's got his listed for. So there has to be something in it. Of course there's something in it, we know there is. So Johnny, change your title, son. Copy and paste mine. But yeah, lovely, lovely boots. Biker boots. I picked up that, a Harley jacket and a Carhartt for £100. He wanted 45 for this, 45 for the leather jacket, and 35 for the Carhartt jacket. I managed to get a deal, so £33, 33 pence recurring all the way in for these, and they sold for £129.99. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look, these are Red Wing shoes. Red Wings. You've got to make sure you put Red Wing shoes on the title. You can put Red Wings after if you want, somewhere has a keyword. And there we go, that's normally where I would end the video, but I'm going to drag you with me just for a little bit longer today, because some of you have asked me to do packing videos and all those kinds of things. I don't think I'm going to show you me packing everything. Well, I don't know how this video is going to go, but I am going to keep you with me while I pack this stuff up as well. What I show you and what I don't, I'm not sure yet. So what I can show you is how I start my packing process, just to make it a little bit easier for me. I normally take all of the Vinted items and pack them up first, because they're just easy to do, and then print the labels, or at least have them underneath. But then with the eBay stuff, I'll take all the easy stuff which just needs bagging first, like this Adidas jacket. I'll pop it straight into a mailing bag. Yep. Now of course this is before I've done any labels, and I know I've only got one Adidas thing going out, so I'll just put Adidas on there, and that's done. And I also know that that's a kilo, so I'll put 1 and circle it. So I've already packed an item, just need to get the label for it. And they're all the things that I can do without a scale and without making boxes and stuff, you know. So I'll just repeat that process with all of the stuff that I can. So any clothing, any plush, do the same with plush. This is the Armani. Now I need to make sure that I really differentiate this, because Adidas and Armani at a quick glance could look the same, and it could quite easily make a packing issue if I just doing things quickly. So we'll differentiate those by a massive Armani. A massive Armani. Have a look around, see what else we've got. We do have this one, and I think it's got jointed legs. It has, so I can stick him up here like this. And even though it's only a £5 something sale, it doesn't mean we have to offer £5 something service. So it still gets a poly bag. So I obviously didn't have one at the time I was listing this, because they'd normally just all sit in a poly bag. That gives it a bit of protection if the outer bag rips or splits, because otherwise if this gets broken or lost or whatever, not lost, but we're talking about like protection here, if this gets damaged now in the post, I've lost out on what I paid for it, which I think was about £1, and it's only sold for £5.64. It's going to cost me £2, let's say £3 to send it, £2.94. That leaves me with £1 something pence. After fees and stuff, I've probably got about 60p on that one. So it's like a dead sale. It's a terrible sale. But I got about 60p on that. Now, if this gets damaged in the post, because I didn't put it inside that second bag, and this outer bag splits, and that gets a hole or something in it, I've got to refund the £5.64, and I've lost out on that as well. So then it becomes a negative sale. I'd rather take that extra step and keep it as a plus 60p sale than skip the step, and it then becomes a negative £6 sale. Do you see? I could lose out tenfold. So I've now got those three here. Where are they? They're up there. So those three there are already pre-packed. They're in my 1 kilogram corner. I have a section like 1 kilo, 2 kilos, and anything bigger. I just know where they are on the table. It'll be the same with these. I'll bubble wrap these and put them into a poly mailer bag. A lot of you might not understand why bubble wrap either, because they're shoes. If I ordered a pair of shoes from Adidas or Nike, and because I normally just wear brand new shoes, I am a little bit snobby. I've tried wearing second-hand shoes. I just can't. I like the way that my foot moulds the brand new shoe and it becomes my shoe. I've tried. I've got nothing against it, but anyway, whatever. If I ordered from Adidas or Nike, even if I ordered a £30 pair of shoes or £20 pair from Adidas or Nike, and if they came just shoved in a poly mailer bag, I'm annoyed. They get knocked, they get bumped, the mids will get knocked and scuffed and marked and stuff like that, and just like, no. Wrap them in bubble wrap, stick them in a poly mailer. Because you don't want to box everything, especially like, what these £18 sales. But now, if they get hit, knocked around, they're not going to like damage the toe cap or anything like that. And it's only a, 16-inch bit of bubble wrap wrapped around. And they're a kilo still, because they haven't got a big chunky box. These Kurt Geigers, they're moving around in there too much. I'll just get a little bit of paper. It's very rattly, so I'll try not to do too much with the mic. And just fill the gaps. Normally just means going around the edge of the trainer, you know. Now they're not rattling and battling around. Unfortunately, I don't have the medium-sized bag anymore, so it's going to have to go into one that's a bit too big. And these don't need bubble wrapping. They've got the box. It's not a collectible trainer, it's not a collectible box. And there we go. But the thing is, that bag is a little bit saggy and baggy. I've spoken to people in distribution centres, and one of their biggest gripes and one of the biggest problems with your parcels going missing or getting damaged is these little baggy bits. They get caught up in the machines and they get snagged, and just put them down. Make sure anything that can get caught and snagged in the machines are just down. That's probably going to be a 1 to 2 kilo parcel, so that will sit in the middle of the shelf of the table. There's a van just pulled up. I am expecting a delivery, but I don't think it'll be in that van. I'm expecting loads of bubble wrap and loads of boxes. And I just rung next door's door. This one is very easy. £6 sale, and it's in a very, very, very hard box. So all that'll do, a bubble mailer for the right sort of size, pop it in, and life's a dream. That's all that one needs. quick little note of what it is. I've put sleep. I shouldn't forget that, should I? Then we've got the Vinted sale for Mr. Fairbridge. I'm of course going to add a bit of bubble wrap to the books. Lee, thank you for your continued support, mate. He knows if he catches me at the right time, he can get a good bargain. But that's going to be for Lee. I am going to shove that, because it's quite big and it needs a bit of padding for the books. I'm going to shove that into a box. So we'll do that in a bit. What's left? That I will simply bubble wrap and put into one of those bags that I've just put the Kurt Geigers in, because it's quite a sturdy piece of kit. It's designed to be travelled around. It's a bag. So it should just fit into one of these, which is the last one of this size that I have left at the moment. The only ones I've got now that'll fit anything like that in it, they're like 5 times the size, which is great to be fair, but a lot of extra folding over and flapping to do. And I ain't trying to teach anybody to suck eggs here. Most of you veterans will understand most of this, but one of the frequent comments that I got on my channel when I asked people, what would you like to see? Because sometimes I like to open up for ideas, doesn't mean I'm going to follow them all, was how do you pack stuff? Now I used to do that quite a lot when I was beginning out of this channel, because I was learning, and I think the best way to maintain new information is to repeat it. So I was learning this new stuff and then I was repeating it. I was doing it on my channel, repeating it. It's like when you learn a new language, you repeat the stuff and repeat the stuff and repeat the stuff. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. So this is the PS1, so I'll put that on there. I know it's going to be in the same category as the Kurt Geiger trainers, like 1 to 2 kilos. So I've got my 1 kilos over there. My 1 to 2 sort of sections going on around here. And then I've got my anomaly bits here. Well, these are anomaly bits. So how I'm going to wrap that is again the same. Bubble wrap plenty of it and stick it into a bag. It's a £3.50 sale. It's a sturdy box. It's not really going to be massively collectible because these are very common, hence why it's £3.50, and it will stay nice and secure. So plenty like that. I wouldn't do it if it's like a £100 board game or a £60 board game that has a collectible box, just in case, but they don't break anyway. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't take that risk. With this, I'll happily take the risk, but I think it's going to be, well, no, it's going to be just fine. And the same with this. I will, of course, bubble wrap this. What I'll do with these is pull the plug off, and I just tuck this wire inside to the shell, and it just makes it a little bit more easier. And then I'll wrap that and bubble wrap. Find a box for it on this one. That sits nicely inside there. Wrap the plug up, pop it all inside, wrap it bubble wrap, and find a box for that one, because that won't survive a bag. And this one the same. I'll bubble wrap it, find a box, and pop that in a box, because it needs to remain less blemish free, even though it's got one there, but I've sold it with that, you know. The leg extension is half boxed anyway. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Somebody sent me an offer a little while ago, so I packaged it up, and then they asked me a question, so I had to unbox it, and then they just didn't. I didn't hear back from them, so whatever. But then with these, now these were £129, and I want them to. They're going to America or Denmark. Where did I see they were going? They're going to Denmark, I think. DE is either Germany or it's Denmark, I'm not sure. But I'm not going to just send them like that. I mean, even just boxed up and stuff. I want them to have like a small kind of experience, not experience, but just I don't want them to get there and feel like they've just been slung into a box and sent, because you know these are going to squish down and whatever else. So all I'm going to do is just pad out the ankle bits there. That's it. Scrunch it to about the size, so I can just slot it in. And that's just going to keep that from flopping around and being like a floppy fish. And you know, one of the best bits about getting new shoes is pulling that bit of scrumped up tissue out of the toe box, isn't it? Repeat the process. There are 2 shoes. But yeah, definitely consider that. Like I said about Johnny's listing still being there at half the value of mine, and mine sold in the same day for double what his were even listed for, or are listed for. And I think it was purely down to keywords and title structure. So now what I'm going to do is wrap these individually with bubble wrap. You didn't think you'd be watching me wrap a shoe, did you? Pop that over. Drop that over there. And then I'll just repeat that process, of course. 2 boots, and I'll just find a box. I should have one now, the lovely Killin hooked me up. This one's not from Killin, but it's going to do just fine, I think. I actually bought a... Very naughty of me, I bought a deep fat fryer the other day, a chip pan basically. Because I really want to make homemade, well I've been making, I wanted to make homemade crisps and chips again, and they're lovely. I mean, I won't use it all the time, of course, because it's not exactly great for you, is it? That's not good enough. This one's going to be a bit big, but it's going to be wide enough. I don't want to cram the shoes in there. I'm not going to go through the whole effort of making them presentable and less than just chucked in a bag, just then lob them in a box and let them get squashed up and broken. So Clint sent me these. These are going to be thick enough. They probably need cutting down just a little bit when it's done. They will lay nicely in there, I should imagine, I think, hopefully. And then I'll just cut the box down to size. So they should now go, yeah, there we go, lovely and lovely. I'm not going to leave it like that, so I'm going to pad them out, then I'll chop this down and start folding it from around here. Just fold it over, so I'll cut these flaps off straight away and save those for a bit of scrap. This video so far is 19 minutes already. Normally I'm done by now to show you the video, because I feel like this stuff is like buffer. I always try and cut the crap with you, you know that. Some of my videos can be quite short and sweet and to the point, but I guess some of this is to the point as well. Just chop these flaps off. We'll save these though, because they're good for like wrapping. Oh, wrapping. Yo, my name is Ricky and I am so sticky. Emma loves that wrap. Make sure I don't blade through the Represent hoodie. Thank you, Ricky, for my hoodie for my birthday last 2 years ago, maybe. Love it. I'm gonna actually, to be fair, I think this will be quite interesting about resizing a box, to be honest. So yeah, this is a good idea. So I'm going to just pad out the inside, just so the shoes don't move about. I'll show you the aftermath. See, now the shoes won't move about, but that's just too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my, I'll show you. Get a flat piece of card, which keeps you level and line. Push it down, so on top of the shoes. So that's where the box will be. And then what I'll do is I'll just get a Stanley blade and score up. And I'll move this across here, push down again till it doesn't go any further, score up, and repeat. And that'll give me my new flaps. And then where I've scored between, I'll just run a Stanley knife on this side across to meet the lines, and that'll create my flappage. I'll show you. 22 minutes. I do hope this is worth watching. It's very out of my comfort zone, leaving all this sort of stuff in. Move that coffee, that's making me feel uncomfortable. So I've got my marker. I'll just push down on the box so I know where the flap's going to end up going, and I'll just score down to meet it. There it is. Come over to this corner. I'll score up to meet it there because it's a harder angle to get down just there. The back side just here, and across over here. Now they're probably not going to be perfect, but they're going to be relatively good enough for me to do. I could just fold them over now, but they're going to create their own fold and their own crease, and it's going to be like curved and whatever else. So what I'll do, I'll find my line, which is here, and my line here, and I'll just, in one swoop, normally you get the straightest when you just do one swoop, score across. Not all the way through, just gently, so you score in that first section, and then creates a nice new flap. And just repeat the process. Find where your line ends, find where your line begins, score it up, eyeball it, straight across. This side's normally the hardest, so you can just go on the inside if you want, so you can still see, but I feel like I've done it enough now that I can actually do okay. Let's see how good we did it. You ready? Lovely. Got to sort this garage out in a minute, well, before we carry on with the day. So again, just find your line. I find that if you're sort of straight on with it, you can get it a bit more perfect. Where are we here? That one felt a bit wonky, but fine. Then we get another piece. Now, because of how big this box is, these aren't going to meet in the middle, but we still have our scrap, don't we? bit more gap filling. And as I mentioned, close this up, there's still a gap. Pop that on, but don't pop it on, pop it under. In, and now just close your box up. It's that simple. Again, I hope that's not egg sucky for most of you, but I have realised not everybody knows everything, you know, and these are good little tips I wish I knew from the beginning. I'm not going to make you suffer a box taping. I will, however, just point out that the areas where you scored, to pull them across, make sure you tape them up, because otherwise they will just be very fragile. And that's that one done. So there are plenty of ways to skin a cat, I suppose, plenty of ways to do stuff. That's just my way. And then I'll just buy the labels and send them to the post office. Nobody needs to see that. I mean, if you want to know, I do use parcel to go at the moment. I am considering bulk buying on eBay for now. But the thing is, eBay use Packlink, and Packlink always send me once a month, twice a month, a scammy email saying this is overweight, and the only way you can get out of it is if you show me a picture of you holding it next to a ruler and on some scales. Who's doing that? Nobody, and they know it. You can fight it, and I have won most of them. Sometimes I just forget and they automatically take it. I'm sick of it. Since going with Parcel to Go, sold 1,000 through them now. Nothing. Not one thing like that. 2 losses, but it is what it is. But with this new thing that eBay's talking about regarding seller protection, where if the item gets lost and then you refund and then the tracking automatically shows it's being delivered a few days later, eBay will give you that money back if the customer doesn't. So that's a good thing. But I use Parcel to Go, so that's all I'm going to do. I've had some sales, I've showed you those, I've showed you my packing order and some of the little tips and bits that I do. Hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you take something away from it. That's what this community is about. It's about learning, it's about integration, it's about finding similarities, finding ways of doing things and making it fit for you. You can't always copy somebody else's method, but you can definitely take a little bit of spice from it and add it to your own curry. That's a really bad analogy, but I think it made sense.